What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mr. Omai Lewis back at you with another video. Oh yeah, and today we're going to be talking about personalities and the value that they provide to the world, and how us introverts, we only care about the value that they provide to us as opposed to their personality. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to this channel, because you need to subscribe. You need to get the dose of Omai Lewis every single day. In order for you to do that, you have to subscribe and hit the notification icon. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So we only care about the value they provide. So as you may know, perhaps if you're an introvert, you probably relate. There's a lot of celebrities out there, right? There's a lot of famous people, not necessarily always celebrities, but there's like YouTubers, and there's like people that are very known in their field. They're known pretty much to be like the leaders in their industry, and because of that, they tend to be somewhat, to some degree, famous, right? And so here's the thing. A lot of people try to create this whole controversy that you should love every single, like, if there's a specific person that you really like, you should like him for their entirety, right? As a human being, right? Like all these people that created these really amazing things, right? That you should always adore them and, love them as a whole, as the entire person, right? However, us introverts, we don't necessarily do that. We don't really care about their personality. We don't really care about who they are at their core. We don't care about the things that they do behind the scenes. What we really care about is the value that they provide to us, and that is pretty much it. So as maybe you've experienced this, right? You have like maybe it's a famous YouTuber, right? So you look at the YouTuber, maybe you listen to him, maybe the YouTuber does, I don't know, maybe the YouTuber reviews tech, right? So the YouTuber reviews tech, and so they review like every single thing that comes out in the tech world. They review phones, they review headphones, they review computers, they review all these electronics, right? And you love tech, so you go and you watch these videos just to see what's new with the new tech, what's new with the new phone. Am I gonna buy this, am I gonna buy that? Pretty much that's how you pretty much determine your choices as far as like what tech do you buy and which one you don't, right? However, let's just say in one instance, this person who uploads constantly tech videos, all of a sudden just uploads one video where they're pretty much talking about how they're breaking down or something. How they're like just they just didn't have a good day, and they start talking about their day and what they did in their personal life. As an introvert, we tend to get pretty disappointed when something like that happens, because we're like, dude, like, we don't care about your personal life. We don't care what's going on there. We don't care if you're breaking down. What we care about is to see that you're providing value to us. We want to see that you're providing the value. So in that case, I want to see you review videos, not stand for any other thing. This also applies to, like, sometimes, there's something going on, there's like a political thing going on, and so they start talking about politics. Like, look, like, we don't care about your political stand. We care about you reviewing tech. We care about you reviewing computers, keyboards, all of those cool electronics. That's what we come here for, and you over there, wasting our time and really wasting the space in your platform to go and interfere the consistency of your videos and the flow with a non-related topic to your channel. And so that's quite of a thing that I just personally, I am not okay with that, and I'm pretty sure most introverts are not really okay with that, because at the end of the day, what we really care about is the value. Now, of course, this goes vice versa as well. Perhaps this tech person, maybe they had like a misfortune in their past. Maybe they did something bad. They did this and that. They're accused of this one other thing and this one other thing. But perhaps, they redeemed themselves. And so now they're doing what they're doing right now. And so because of that, a lot of people tend to like look at those other things and be like, okay, what, that person actually did this, and did the other thing in their past, and because of that, you should probably not follow them. You should probably not, listen to them, or not, watch them. Like, we don't care. If their videos are good, if the content that they're providing, the value that they're providing is good, and it's actually helpful, and you as an introvert, obviously, it's not like we love everybody. Obviously, every introvert, has their own specific choices as far as like who they listen to and everything. But if that person that you listen to, if there's something about that person that you really like, you're connecting with it, and you pretty much you pretty much what do you mean call it you love the way that person delivers the value, you connect with it, and it's actually changing your life, it's actually making a difference, then pretty much you don't really care about their personal lives. You don't care what they've done in the past, you don't care what they're about to do in the future, because at the end of the day you're a fan of their value. So in this case, it may be tech. So you're a fan of the value that they bring to you with tech. You like how this person breaks down the tech. You like the way they create the videos, or maybe it doesn't even have to be videos. Maybe it's like, I'm just saying videos because we're here on YouTube, and this is pretty much the number one way to consume content these days. But I mean, there's things like books, maybe there's a specific author, that releases really cool books. You like to read books. And so maybe you start hearing things about the author, that the author did this, the author did that. And like everybody's trying to like pretty much tell you to not read that book. And so, you might not end up reading that book, but you as an introvert, you might actually end up reading the book anyway, because you're like, I don't care. Like, this guy is a terrific person at that person. When it comes to tech, they're the best. There's nobody beating them. And I want to become something like them. I want to be able to make the wisest choice when I'm going to go buy my tech. I want to be extremely educated. So because of that, I'm going to go to this person, because even though this person did whatever the heck they did, at least I know that they have the value. What I really care about, when it comes to this person, they're getting it right. They're getting it right. And so that's really what I care about, that they're getting it right. I don't care if they went and they did some crap here and there. They went, they beat up someone, they did this other thing, right? Now, obviously, there's some things that might be a little bit hardcore, but in that case, it's really up to you. There's certain introverts who I know that, they'll still go for it, because at the end of the day, what really matters is the value that they provide. This highly applies to like musicians. Maybe you as an introvert, you like to listen to like certain rappers, and like rappers all the time, they're involved in like some crazy things. Maybe they committed a crime there, a crime here, and maybe they spent some time in jail, and you still listen to these people, you still admire them and stuff, because at the end of the day, these people redeem themselves. At the end of the day, these people, they do things based on like, sometimes they get emotional, sometimes, things just happen and they end up doing something, and, at the end of the day, they're human beings. And so there's that part. But then you don't like it when somebody, just starts to use their platform in a very like ugly way, where it's like, like they just stop providing the value that they stop providing, and instead, they start to transition into something else. And that eventually, that can cause, the fall, the beginning of the doom of that person, because if they start to transition, that means they're going to start losing a lot of people, because you're no longer providing the value that those people were there for. And so sometimes these creators or these people, they start to get a bit frustrated. They start to complain that, oh, like, I thought you guys were real, I thought you guys were my family, I thought you guys were like this, that. And then they start saying like, okay, you know what, if you want to leave. And let's be honest, they're pretty much just trying to come off strong, and they're trying to come off like as though like they're not affected. But the reality is that they are affected. They're very affected, because they can see that at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. That's really the truth about all of this, that at the end of the day, we're just fans of the value. We're just there for the value. Once that value disappears and you start to provide us with something else other than the value that we're there for, of course, we're going to enter into alert mode. We're going to be like, what is this? Why are you talking about like maybe there's a controversy going on with a music artist, and then this person who's supposed to be reviewing tech starts talking about that music artist and how they don't like him, they don't like what they did and stuff. Like, we're not here for that. We're not here to listen to you complain about somebody else. We're here to listen to you review stuff. If you want to complain and you want to do all that stuff, that's fine, but don't do it on your on the place where, on the platform where people are there to get your, they're there to get a value from a specific thing. Do it somewhere else. Do it with your friends. Do it on maybe this is a social media platform where you don't necessarily upload the tech stuff. Maybe over there you're just more real. You just talk about maybe your personal life, and that's perfectly fine. Go over there and do that. But don't try to mix this up, where you pretty much destroy the continuity of your content. And so that's pretty much my thing here. And pretty much you as an introvert, you've probably experienced this, and the thing is that at the end of the day, as introverts, we don't necessarily have that much of an emotional connection with human beings. Like, we do have some, but we have to really actually get to know the person. We have to experience the person live in person, and we have to really go deep, and we have to really have that back and forth in order to actually feel and develop some sort of internal relationship. If I'm developing a relationship with someone on online, I'm just watching somebody on YouTube or something, give away value, I'm not creating a connection with this person because I've never seen this person, live. Even though they might relate to me and what's going on, I still don't get affected. I'm not really connected with this person. I just find this person cool. I'm a fan. If they sell something around that value, I'll perhaps I'll probably buy it because, I'm a big fan of this person. I'm a big fan of the value. But at the end of the day, I have not really created I'm realistic, I suppose. And, this is something that introverts do really well, as opposed to like extroverts, who are pretty delusional when it comes to their relationships. And they think that everybody's on their side. And then when trouble hits, well, they see who actually is on their side. As opposed to introverts. Introverts don't tend to experience this for the most part because, like I said, we're much more wiser as far as like choosing our people. And we actually, we run them through a set of, series of steps, a specific journey before we even trust them with all of our personal stuff. And so, if they just don't qualify, if they just don't meet the requirements along that journey, then perhaps we're just going to drop them, and that'll be the end of that. And so, for the most part, we don't really experience that. When we go through hard times, those people that we selected, those few, maybe 3-4 people, are going to actually be there because we've handpicked them really well. We're not just befriending everybody left and right and stuff, and then complaining that when you go through some trouble, you're now like, oh, like, where'd they go? And so, yeah, so like, at the end of the day, we're just there for the value. And like I said, we don't really care about what they're doing with their personal life because we've never really created a connection. So it's not like we feel betrayed. It's not like we feel bad. We just don't care. We're just there for the value. And the thing is that, especially if it's like an online relationship, for the most part, there's other creators that are pretty much doing the same thing. Sure, they might not do it as well as you, and that's really what's going to make the difference, and that's really what's going to draw people towards you, specifically towards your channel. But at the end of the day, like, there's really nothing special, because, like I said, as introverts, we're very realistic as far as like what's going on. We're realistic about the fact that, okay, this is an online relationship, this isn't real. We're just extracting as much value as we can for this person, and we're really appreciative of this person actually giving us this value. And for the most part, we try to reciprocate that value with, we usually, if they offer some sort of like something, that we're able to pay for, then we're going to reciprocate that value with some sort of by us, buying their merchandise or buying some sort of course or buying something from them, right? Signing up to some subscription or something like that, in order to reciprocate the value. But other than that, it's like, we understand that this isn't a real relationship. So at the end of the day, we're just here for the value. We're not here for your personality. We're not here to know your personal stuff. We don't care. That's just irrelevant to us because you're just a value provider. And I'm just a value consumer at that point. I'm just here to consume value. I'm not here to listen to your things and all this stuff because, I don't know you in person. I haven't experienced the real you. Because here's the thing, like when there's somebody online, for the most part, they're putting up a front. I mean, let's be realistic here. They're putting up a front. They're pretty much, they are that specific, whatever the role is. If they're an educator, they're an educator. When they hit record on the camera, they're a creator. They're an educator. Or maybe they're a prankster. Maybe they teach, I don't know, something, right? They teach you business. They are the business guru. They are the Shopify guru. They're the marketing guru. That's who they are. That's their role. So when they press record, that's who they are. They're not going to be transitioning to some other topic because they have to stay on target. They have to stay on point. You know, when they hit record, that specific video, that specific piece of content has a purpose. So they can't be transitioning and be like, oh, you know, let me talk about my life here. Let me talk about what I had for lunch yesterday. Oh, let me get back to the marketing. Oh, let me talk about, you know, what I use to sweep the floor or something like that. You know, the best broom there is, right? It wouldn't make sense. It would just be very weird, and the value would just be all jagged, and that's just not what the consumer wants. So that's the thing. And we're very realistic about this. We know that that's what they're doing. And we're okay with that. We're okay. We're like, if that's what you're gonna do, that's what you're gonna do, because we understand. Like I said, we understand identity shifting, which is something that I will make a course probably on that, actually, because it's so fun, it's so cool, it's so exciting to learn about identity shifting. And so, you know, we'll talk about that in a different video. But just understand, you as an introvert, if this is you, don't feel guilty, don't feel bad. You know, if you are just there for the value, then just be there for the value. That's perfectly fine. It's okay. You don't have to feel bad that, you know, you're pretty much ignoring the other stuff, or that you leave that person because, you know, that person is starting to transition to something else. Don't feel bad about it. Just stop watching it. Stop being a fan of that person, because you're on your right. They stop providing the value. You stop providing, you know, you stop being there as a consumer. Unless, of course, you know, they transition to something else, and that value, that new value that they're providing is actually connecting with you, well, then stay with them. But other than that, it's perfectly fine. And you guys as creators, stop doing that. Really, stop doing that. Like, we don't want to know your personal life. We really don't. You know, we don't care. Just do what you're meant to do in the video. And that's it. Provide me with the value. Whatever your position is, whatever you're doing, whatever it is that you're an authority at, give me some of that. Give me some of that value. And I'll reciprocate you, of course, you know, with some value. If I find that valuable, I'll reciprocate you with some sort of value. If I trust you, I will reciprocate you. If I don't trust you, then obviously I won't. But that's pretty much how it works. So that is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification icon. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video.